So the Two of Cups. As you see, I've got a few decks here. This would be the Witch's Tarot deck. This one here is the Dreamer's Journal deck. And this, of course, is the Jane Austen deck. So the Witch's Tarot, we have a couple who are clearly having a hand-fasting ceremony, as you can see. And they are by a lake. The sun is reflecting off their cups. And it looks like we're at the end of the marriage ceremony, the hand-fasting ceremony. The booklet for this one has the meanings being romance, engagement, hand-fasting, wedding, reconciliation, partnership, equality, true love, and in its reversed position, problems in a relationship, arguments, quarrels, separation, or divorce. Now this one here, the Dreamer's Journal, we have a couple who are clinking glasses, and again, they're at the edge of the woods by the lake, and this one seems to be during a full moon. This deck has the meanings listed as strong, passionate relationship, any union of person, group, ideas, or talents, key element of being two coming together to make a third element. In its reversed position, a partnership in theory that would be amazing on paper but has no emotional connection. And then we have the Jane Austen Tarot, and we're looking at the Two of Teacups, and this one is based on the novel Northanger Abbey. We have the characters of Catherine and Mr. Tilney holding their cups together. They're at a party and they're ignoring everybody else. So the meaning of this is beginning of a romance, the yin-yang of a romance. In its reversed, romantic miscues and obstacles. Then the companion book goes on to say first attractions, unlimited potential, and a moment of magic, or the spark of magic, I should say. Focusing on the other person in the present moment and not fantasizing of a future. It's important to see the other person as a human being and not an idolized hero. Stay balanced no matter how infatuated you are with them or the situation. This card is connected to, or this deck connects this card to Venus and Cancer. And it says you should communicate your feelings by listening and responding in equal measure, always staying in touch with your core emotions. True love is interweaving and blending together qualities in a harmonious way. And it's if you're dealing with a business or group situation, it's basically the same thing. Remain present and focused and communicate and listen equally. And of course, you got to ask the question, what would Jane do? And it says, according to this, first impressions can teach us something, but not everything. Okay, so then you look at the colors of these cards, and you've got a lot of white and blue happening, and green. Again, with the green, the white, all the cards in this particular deck have these golden undertones to them. So what did I kind of get from all this? Well, first off, let me say you've got 3 different decks here, and not one of them has an animal in them. That's kind of rare to have the same card across the board without a single animal element. Usually there's one deck that will have a bird or something, but there's nothing. There is nothing. At first glance, you think there might be birds here, but they're not. That's the edges of the cup. What I kind of got from this was that because there are no animals in these cards, it's a purely human card dealing with the duality of the human struggle between our mind and body. But you do notice there are water elements in both of these two. And then you have, in this one here, you see reflective surfaces. Kind of representing, well, obviously the emotions, because the cups are the suit of emotions. But it's almost counteractive to the actual message the cards are giving you, which is staying in the moment and not fantasizing. Because especially for something like this, for this card here, that pulls right out of the story of how the character of Catherine, she fantasizes about everything. She sees everything as a melodrama or an action film, or I should say action novel, because that's all you had back then. You had books and that was it. She fantasizes herself as the damsel in distress needing to be rescued, and as the men that come into her life as the knight in shining armor. So it almost counteracts itself here. And of course, true love is always considered the main theme in a Two of Cups. But yeah, you got to remember that first impressions, they may give you that rush, that, okay, this is someone who I should be with or I should be getting to know. But that's not the end of the story. There's more going on. There's more underneath. And the fact that this says you have to blend to make that third, to remind you that true love, as appealing as it might be, isn't always what it's cracked up to be.